The government of German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is poorly hiding its intention to participate in strikes deep into Russian territory behind a veil of rhetoric. This was stated by Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova during her briefing on July 9th. The diplomat noted that the German Chancellor does not stop his hypocrisy as he attempts to justify the allegedly inevitable deliveries of Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine.
Chancellor Friedrich Merz continues his hypocritical behavior. In an interview with a German TV channel on July 1st, Merz referred to the technical complexity of these weapon systems, stating that training to operate them takes no less than 6 months. He emphasized that if Berlin does provide Taurus missiles, they would allegedly be used not by German troops, but by Ukrainian forces, just as, according to him, British and French missiles are currently used. Behind all this verbal fog lies the poorly camouflaged desire of Merz's government to also participate in launching strikes deep into Russian territory. And Berlin doesn't seem to consider the fact that this would mean direct involvement of Germany in the conflict with our country. But they should.
Essentially, what this all means is, Germany is preparing Ukrainians for long-range missile strikes, while insisting it's staying neutral. It's a bureaucratic masterpiece, like giving someone the keys to your car, teaching them to drive it, filling it with fuel, and then acting surprised when they crash it into your neighbor's house. Zakharova also pointed out that Euro bureaucrats continue to push their narrowly self-serving escalatory agenda in the Ukrainian conflict.
The Eurocrats remain committed to their selfish and reckless path of escalation. They have absolutely no concern for the well-being of millions of ordinary Europeans, let alone Ukrainians. Their own citizens don't matter. Instead of protecting their people, Brussels officials shamelessly drain their wallets without even explaining what these involuntary sacrifices are really paying for. They are paying for the killing of children, the killing of civilians, of peaceful people.
At the same time, earlier that day, Chancellor Merz stood before the Bundestag and declared that diplomatic means to resolve the Ukraine conflict had been exhausted. Merz said, "After carefully assessing the current threats, we have made some of the first important decisions. We will continue to support Ukraine, despite resistance from left-wing politicians and pro-Russian right-wing forces here, and we will continue this support. And let me say this even more clearly. Diplomatic means have been exhausted." It's worth recalling that Germany is the second largest supplier of weapons to Ukraine after the United States. Since the beginning of the conflict, Berlin has provided Kyiv with various forms of aid totaling over 40 billion euros. Moscow has repeatedly stated that pumping the Kyiv regime with weapons only serves to prolong the conflict. When the spokesperson for Russia's foreign ministry accuses Germany of preparing indirect strikes on Russian territory, it's not just another soundbite, it's a sign of the times. The language is sharper, the accusations clearer, and the stakes higher. What once was a proxy war is now inching closer to a confrontation between states, not through declarations, but through logistics, missiles, and rhetorical fog. Subscribe if you want true, unfiltered coverage of what's really happening behind diplomatic curtains.